Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Game Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is a painting video. Now I do the Monday painting video, which is voted on by you guys. But every so often I'll just, try and get through some of this pile of shame of mine. So for all my regulars here, guys, I would love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a minute. Right, so I got up this morning and I had the urge to paint these guys. Pink horrors. Yeah, so I said, you know what? I'm going to paint them. And then I looked and said, there's 10 in the unit. I'm not going to squeeze all of them in today. So I'm going to paint 2 of them. And then they can go, the rest of them go in the list to be painted off camera behind the Plague Marines. Because just next is the Plague Marines off camera and then them. So that's grand, okay. So I'm going to start with some Fallopius pink contrast paint. This is going to be a very nice, easy way of doing it. I'm going to paint all of the flesh. I don't want to get the feathers or the beak or any of the little gems hanging off him or anything like that. Just the skin. I think I've probably got the wrong size brush, but I'm going to get on with it and do it anyway. I get the feathers and sort that out afterwards. It's already a nice start. So I'm going to go camera and finish the rest. So here's where we're at. Looking very nice. I'm going to now come in with some skeleton horde. And I'm going to contrast paint. I'm going to get all of the nails on the end of their fingers and their little toes. I'm going to get all of that. So now I'm going to come in with some iron jaws yellow contrast paint. And especially for this guy, he's got a big old beak. So I'm going to just slap the yellow on the beak. Make that really stand out. And especially when you're using contrast paint, you have to be careful of one thing. Look at his leg at the back here. When I painted it on, it was fine, but now it's just pulled away from the white and just left it. So I have to go back over it with that colour. There's a little bit there on his beak as well, it's just missed. Now I'm going to come in with some red Rama. And what I'm going to pick out is anything I think should be gold. The little bangles on their wrists. I'm not going to get that little gem on there. I'm just going to get the rest of all the bangles. Next I'm going to come with some lead belcher. Now this is not a difficult one to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to, where he has the gems hanging off of him, I'm just going to paint that silver. Now this one only has 1 gem on him. But the standard, there's quite a few gems. So I'm going to get all these ones at the bottom. I'm going to get a pole of the staff who's standard as well. So I missed the one on his wrist. I'm going to do it all the way up to here. And there's a gem either side, as you can see. And there's a gem either side on this side, which I actually hit with the gold. So the next colour I'm going to come in with is Talazar Blue contrast paint. And this colour is going to have two purposes. The first one is I'm going to hit all the feathers with it. It's a bit too much on the brush, but I'll go with that. And the other bit, we're going to do the flames. I've just noticed there's a little gem in there. So I have to come back to the silver and just hit that gem. I'm going to crack on the rest of that. The next colour I'm coming in with is Tennessee the purple. And I'm going to whack this on their tongues. Try and get as much in the mouth as possible. So now the tongue really stands out from the mouth and the face. This guy has two tongues. It's nice. So the next colour I'm going to use is Eldari Emerald contrast paint, and this is just one very simple step. So all of the gems on this guy, he's got a few on his wrist there, I'm going to come in and I'll just step them. He looks great, but he's not as interesting as the other guy. So this guy has gems everywhere. And what this Eldari Emerald is going to do is really make the gems really stand out. As you can see on the top here, I overshot it with the blue, the Talazar blue, just to give me a bit of like lighting onto the gold. Right, so I think that's them done. Yeah, so for all intensive purposes, these guys are battle ready. Now, so for everyone that's new to the channel, what I do now is I take them beyond battle ready standard. Now, battle ready means I can just put them on the table and away you go. I'm taking them beyond that now, so that it can include a wash, a dry brush, an edge highlight, some sort of technical paint, wet blending, you know, all different styles that we could use. The only thing I need to do with these guys to make them fully battle ready would be to put some Astro Granite technical paint on their base, and then when that's dry, I give it a dry brush of Baneblade Brown, and then a dry brush of Troll Slayer Orange. So it's a Plague Bearer, but here's what the base looks like roughly afterwards. Okay, so there's a totally different, but I'm not going to do that on these guys, because I'll do the whole lot of them together. And I find it easier to paint the model first, especially with contrast paint, and then when that's all dry and the model's finished, then do the Astral Granite afterwards. So I'm going to leave it to dry for a minute or so, and then I'm going to come back with the first bits to take it beyond battle ready standard. So the first thing I do is grab some Emperor's Children pink, or Emperor's Children it's called, but it's a pink colour. Here's what it looks like, absolutely amazing, but it's a layer paint, so go on bright and dull self down. And the first thing I'm going to do, some of you out the way, I'm going to take some of my brush, put it onto a tissue. It's a bit too much. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to dry brush. As I said, it's a layer paint, so it will go on bright. Yeah, you can see it looks really bright, but it will dull itself down. So all these raised areas are going to just look absolutely amazing without losing the detail of anything else. Plus, if there's any bits of white where the pink, just the contrast paint, Fallopius pink, just run off a little bit, I can then tidy up with this. You can see the one I just dry brushed. So I'm going to dry brush the other one, the standard. It's actually it's a great model, but when they design these models, sometimes they don't think about how it's going to stand on the base. So as you can see on the one I have here, I've put loads of little bits of sprue on the base to try and balance it off a little bit. Same as the homogons. I know that because I was grabbing the homogons earlier, and I was like trying to put bits of sprue to balance them off. But anyway, I'm going to dry brush in with the Emperor's Pink. Now you can come in now for the blue with some Lothern Blue, which is another layer paint, which is another brilliant one to do, especially with the layer paint, because you can give it a once over, okay, like I've done with these guys. But then if I'm not happy, I can come in again and just give it a second once over with the same, like the pink I'm talking about now, same pink, just to highlight up here and there. I don't think it needs it. But instead of doing Lothern Blue, because I need to start expanding my wet palette and expanding, the way the colours I use, I'm going to try this bad boy out. It's a dry paint. So if you've never used a dry paint before, this is what it looks like. It doesn't even look like paint. But as soon as you put it on the brush, it acts the same way as paint. In the sense that it moves on the brush, but it doesn't flow. Now, so I put some on the brush, put it on my tissue, and I'm going to just give this a dry brush along the edge here. Try and get the edge of the feathers. I don't know how it's going to look or how it's going to come out. That looks okay. That's pretty good. I'm going to do the same thing on the flame. This goes back to what I said. This is so flimsy and not flimsy, but just don't want it to break. And this guy doesn't have any feathers on him. I just thought with the flame being the same colour, it's going to tie the whole lot in nicely. I'll try and get some over there as well, just to make it. Right, so I'm going to leave it to dry for a minute. So now I'm going to come with some Flannix Yellow, which again is a layer paint. So the same rules apply. You could apply one layer and then give another second layer or a third layer if you choose. I put it on my wet palette. I'm going to come in and I'm going to try and get the pointiest most part of the beak, just on the side of his face. Doesn't look much of a difference, to be honest with you. I suppose I have to let it dry and then come back in again if I think that's what I have to do. And so before I second cover that yellow, I've now got some white scars on the wet palette. And what I'm going to do is something very, very clever. Well, it's very clever, I think, anyway. So I'm going to get some white scars on my brush it onto my tissue, and I'm going to come along and just try and flick the end of these feathers. Again, white scars is a layer paint, so it will go on bright but dull itself down. It's just going to break those feathers up, drastically change. Take the blue, so instead of being dark blue, light blue, it's dark blue, light blue, bit of white, so it looks very. Now here's where the magic starts, I think anyway, on the flames. So we're going to hit the outer edge first, and I'm just going to flick it across the top there, just giving us this nice little look. Yeah, so how nice it looks now is going to dull down a little bit, so then I can come across again and do it again, but don't hit as much of the same area, so it gives you different shades of the white as well as the blue. I'm going to crack on and do that. So here we have it. Very easy, very simple. The feathers are nice. So missed a bit of the inside leg as well. Damn it, I have to come back with that and sort that out. Just in there I missed. No big issue. Here's the standard. I did not give it a second coat of white yet. I just thought one should be enough. Just a little bit on the shoulder there, and on the inside of his arm. Oh well, it's not. Again, as I said, it's not a big issue because I can come in with some of the pink and just tap that in there. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. If you have any comments or anything, chuck them below as always. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, guys. It costs you absolutely nothing, and it helps the channel in a massive way. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. Everyone smash the thumbs up button so that because YouTube share this video with more and more people, which makes this amazing community of you guys grow even more. And you guys are absolutely amazing. So hit the buttons for me, guys. Comments below. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take it easy.